Yeah, man. What
That's
I was
hot
saying,
shit
man.
right there,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So what we gonna do? We gonna
We want you to be an activist. And don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Pulley. News networks are not even getting clicks like that. So this shows like there's an opportunity for this, what we're doing here on this show.
These documents remain publicly available today. Congress clamped down on executive power by restricting privileges and requiring congressional oversight for federal agencies, especially the intelligence community. The FBI struck back at Congress by revealing that some members took bribes during a sting operation. So, as you can guess, the American people felt betrayed by their government to the point of paranoia.
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and
Get
the crime in
mad.
the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
You'll still hear conspiracists use these findings to excuse their idiotic speculation. Suffice it to
Doc sent me the name of what I was trying to say earlier, and it's really makes me warm inside, bro. I'm a weirdo, and apparently Doc is too, bro. Air hug, bro. Air hug. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That movie touched the shit out of me, bro. Y'all go watch that fucking movie. I don't give a fuck. If you philosophical and all, like, if you can see symbols and shit like me, you will see it and read between the lines in that story. And then it's kind of like having to do with the story of nature versus capitalism. And also it has the story of how, like, it was a shaman who gave her power, and she had a power to be able to talk to animals. You know what I'm saying? That was her power. And then she had a big heart for the animals. And that's the reason why she was given that power too. You know what I'm saying? And so she was trying to save the animals, and it was kind of like capitalism was like, you know, gobbling up the animals, kind of like, you know, and like this little girl was fighting against this big, huge machine, you know what I'm saying? And just to have the heart to fight, you know, I'm getting emotional. You have to read between the lines. Let me read Doc's comments. He says, Putin wants Kyiv is the capital of the former empire and the location of the data centers they want. They prove the Russian-Ukraine hacker debate. That's what he's screaming. He's saying that is what he's saying, is that they're hacking and shit. They probably are, and you know he's been doing it for the longest over here. You know,
he's good at it.
The powers, they do it to each other. That's not like that. Just like that. But such and such did it. It's not that's not an excuse for anything. Like, well, did it. So, but Ukraine. I think that he doesn't want to take. He wants to take Ukraine, but he doesn't want to add it to Russia. He just wants to bring it back to its civilized, you know, settled.
I don't think he really cares about it like that. He doesn't want somebody that's you know, an adversary to have land, you know, be able to encroach a land right on his borders to be able to, you know, strike on them whenever they choose. I mean, that would be foolish to see that coming and be like, oh, well, they didn't build this or do all this just to hurt me. Well, maybe they did.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is he's going to pull back. He wants to establish order. I think this is my speculation, you guys. Hey, I'm just a guy. But I think that he wants to establish order. He doesn't have ambitions to annex Ukraine to Russia. He wants the Ukrainian people to be free from this infection of Nazism, this infection of fascism. And Russia has a history of fucking dealing with fucking fascism. And the United States has a history of coddling fascism. And I gotta keep saying that over and over and over again because it's happening right now in real time.
Yep.
The media is coddling the Nazis. Meanwhile, Russia is trying to get rid of them. And then they get the whole Western world on their side and got you sending them money. This guy who don't like black people, black people is sending him money by the truckload. He like, thank you. Don't bring your black ass over here with nothing. Oh, you know what I mean? But thank you for the money, though. Let me read this tweet. Brian Tyler Cohen. While Trump was president, every Democrat voted for $2 trillion CARES Act, even though doing so helped Trump. While Biden is president, 0 Republicans voted for the $1.9 trillion American Relief Plan because hurting Biden is more important than helping Americans. I don't know how accurate all that is because that has a little bit slanted, but yeah, overall, true overall. I don't know, bro. I have to say again, it's funny how, like, you know, the media went from Corona to
War.
Ukraine. World War III. And then the show we was watching and how how this vindicated Rachel Maddow and them because they've been screaming Russia forever. Russia. Now they got there. They finally getting there. So yeah. So Doc, you're saying Rachel Maddow is right. You're saying you agree with Rachel Maddow, bro. Do you agree with Rachel Maddow? Oh, I saw some horrible shit. Oh, this is it right here. Oh, fuck. Trans swimmer Leah Thomas, 22, blows away competition to win 500-yard freestyle at NCAA championship. Where crowd goes wild for seconds, places winner on podium. Thomas says she ignores criticism in post-victory interviews. So this is a trans woman, meaning biologically cis male, who beat all the women in the swim competition and won a freaking big ass competition. Broke like records and shit for the women's competition. Oh, bro, like, I don't know, like, y'all want to say politically correct or whatever. I think even transgenders will be on my side with this and say that you ought to be ashamed of yourself, bro. You ought to be ashamed of yourself to go out there and compete with women who were born women and you were born a male and go out and compete with them and break these women records and shit like that, bro. You ought to be ashamed of yourself and go sit down, bro. You get the award for the biggest shithead. How about that? That don't have nothing to do with your sexuality or gender identity. You're a douchebag for doing that. Let me read some comments. It says, so if I identify as an owner of all the land stolen by Europeans in Africa, could I get back and distribute it back to all the indigenous peoples?
No.
That's a good question there. So look, the next comment says, that's a boy. And that's all it says. God forgive me. The next comment says, shout out to the crowd, LOL, because this isn't even fair. It's cheating. Another comment says, I don't care. There should be a line there. It's cheating. Good question, somebody says. We're living in ridiculous times, man. So this is so unfair. Cheating. I cheer for the second place winner as well. Big up the crowd. Glad the crowd has some sense. The crowd ain't buying it. So there's something. Let's see. It's here.
Dealing with that, reasoning with everything. I try to ignore it as much as I can. I try to focus on my swimming, what I need to do to get ready for my races, and just try to block out everything else. What did that race mean to you? It means the world to be here, be with two of my best friends and teammates, and be able to compete. Thank you for stopping by.
Wow.
So Leah Thomas wins the NCAA championship in the 5 months. How have you been dealing with that and reasoning with everything? I try to ignore it as much as I can. I try to focus on my swimming, what I need to do to get ready for my races.
And I'm willing to bet, like I said, I'm willing to bet most of the transgender community would agree with me, bro. Because people are people. What your sexual preference and your sexual, like your gender identity, you know, a human is a human. And we all have certain ways that we look at shit. Fair is fair, fair is fair is fucking fair is fair. You know what I'm saying? To all fucking humans, whatever skin tone you have. And like I say, we be talking about on here, Pat, and we be talking about these universal principles. You know what I'm saying? Basic universal principles that apply to everybody on the goddamn planet. You know what I'm saying? You know, basic decency type of fucking shit. And like I said, I don't care I'm willing to bet that the majority of even transgender people are gonna say, "Yo, that's fucked up, bro. You a douchebag for doing that."
Mm-hmm. Some of them do.
You know. Let me read a couple more comments and I'm gonna wrap as far as this topic here. It says, I don't care, this is wrong. Her body is not the same as theirs. Where are the trans WM pro sports athletes at? It seems to be WM athletes that have the advantage. If it was, okay, male to woman, I guess it's saying male to woman athletes. Okay. If it was equal, we should see competition on both sides. Not the case. The trans community should always be respected and supported. When will we learn that men and women are different? This is completely unfair to the biological woman who spent their lives competing. And I think that wraps the fucking point. No offense to anybody out there. Fucking fair is fucking fair.
Chuck.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah, man. I gotta go.
All right, man. I thank you for being here, like always. We're at 3 hours too, like it's almost 4 a.m. But I'm gonna go a while longer for the fans.
Yeah, it's already past 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that I realize now. That's another reason why you be tired too. You be in different time zones and
I go through daytime saving what they call it daylight savings time
every day.
A couple times a week. Yeah. Well,
every other day.
Yeah.
And your body shock. That's gotta be not good for your body physically, bro. Because thinking about like when they talk about plane people, what do they call it when you be taking jet lagged and shit like that? Like, when you be taking the planes and stuff like that, like that can't be good for your body physically, your health or overall health.
Probably not, but I live on a 24-hour clock for the most part. And yeah, I gotta use that system when while I'm working. But y'all, I had fun. It was good. Y'all keep telling y'all friends about the podcast, and we're gonna keep doing the best we can to keep y'all informed.
Yep. God body journalism.
Yep. So with that being said, love and peace.
Peace and love, bro. Get you some rest, man. Eat some electric foods.
Yeah, I've been working on doing that more. So
and do some walking, bro. I've been walking in the park a little bit more lately, and I feel a lot. It gives you energy. Makes you tired, but it gives you energy.
I'm gonna try to. You know what? I'm gonna set my alarm and try to get me at least a good 30 minutes in before I leave out tomorrow.
Yeah, man, do it. Hold yourself accountable.
For sure. You help me keep myself accountable.
All right, bro. Because I'm gonna ask you if you did it too. I'm gonna ask you if you did it. You know, I'm on the show. I'm gonna ask you on the show.
Well, it's all good.
All right, bro. Get you some rest, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
Let me read the comments. I think I'm behind. Putin is also the U.S. during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Putin wants them as a puppet state. His demand will be that Ukraine never joins NATO. I think you're right about that. I wouldn't disagree with that, actually. The narrative is not wrong, but it is wrong. No, you said I agree with her. Yeah, I said you agree with Rachel Maddow. He says, I just see that while the bullshit the media is pushing on us, as in pushing us towards war, is wrong. Putin is the bad guy. He said, I'm not going in, and he did. Then he said, I will stop in these borders, and he didn't. I applaud his efforts to reduce the devastation, loss of life, but he's still wrong. So, I mean, like, you could be wrong and right at the same time, and I be saying it all the time. You could be a good bad guy. You could be a bad good guy. So, I think Putin is a bad good guy. That's what I would say. I mean, call me crazy, you know, because I think that sometimes you got to do bad things to get good results.
The truth is, everybody is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones that are worth suffering for. When Bob Marley said, if she's amazing, she won't be easy. If she's easy, she won't be amazing. If she's worth it, you won't give up. If you give up, you're not worthy. The truth is, everybody is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones that are worth suffering for. When Bob...
Yeah, that's pretty heavy philosophical shit right there.
They're offering $10,000 and no one will take it. Supposed to be on the way to Cancun.
Yeah, why do they put that fucking music in this shit? First world problems, bitch. I don't fucking sympathize with you. Let's hear Boosie.
On a bad day. There we go. If he ever called you up and said, "Hey man, listen, let's just squash. We ain't got to do a song. We ain't got to do whatever. I just want to talk to you man to man, and I want to just talk about whatever issues you and I have with each other, and just work it out privately, without nothing public. Just him and you on the phone. Would you talk to him?"
I don't think I'll talk to him, bro. Like, I don't think I'll talk to him because I don't. Once I cross paths with somebody, I just leave it to be, and that makes it die down. I don't. Once somebody, that should be over. That should be over. But I wish him the best in his career, bro. Like I've been told in the world, I have no hatred towards him. I just felt he was doing a lot of stuff that was out of line, but I have no hatred towards him. I wouldn't check him for Nas X, bro. I just, he caught me on a bad day.
There we go. There we go. If he ever called you up and said, "Hey man, listen, let's just squash. We ain't gotta do a song. We ain't gotta do whatever. I just want to talk to you man to man, and I want to just talk about whatever."
He say. So I guess he's talking about Lil Nas X. It says Vlad asked Boosie if he would take Lil Nas X phone call to work things out. He was like, nah, I probably wouldn't talk to him. I'm gonna just let things be.
People are born that way, and if they're born that way, guess who made them that way? God made them that way. So you got a problem with it, take it out with God. Are you saying God made a mistake? Is that what you're saying? Orthodox religious leader? Is that what you're saying? That God's a screw up? What kind of an insult to God is that? Do they occur in nature? They clearly occur in nature. Clearly. Who created nature? God did. So don't tell me, no, you don't understand. So we think a rabbi wrote this 2,500 years ago when we didn't know anything at all. And we thought that the stars were little pinholes that God created in the sky to let the light of heaven through. And I'm still believing that nonsense, and I'm oppressing people with it. I'm killing people with it. I'm ruining their lives with it because I'm saying you're sinful. You're sinful for doing something that is 100% natural to you. There's nothing sinful about being gay. There just isn't. People are born that way, and if they're born that way, guess who made them that way? God made them that way. So you got a problem with it, take it out with God.
Yeah, I did a whole show about that topic. Y'all go watch it.
Слава нації!
Україна понад усе! Слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава нації! Смерть ворогам! Україна понад усе!
Революція! Революція! Слава нації! Смерть ворогам! Нація! Україна! Куда меня? Куда меня? Москаля, куда меня? Москаля, куда меня? Кто не скачет, той Москва!
Ну що, москалику, поговоримо? Слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава нації! Смерть москалям!
Слава нації! Україна! 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 Забрати злоті двері! Слава! Новые фашисты растут. Новые фашисты!
Okay, I don't speak Ukrainian and I don't speak Russian, but fascism, Nazism, like that looks pretty apparent in this video from what I can see. From little old Chaka Ent can see. I see a bit of like, you know, fascism and shit in these clips, okay? So you know, what I was trying to say is like Ukrainian people I don't think are Nazis or fascists. I think fascism is an infection. You know what I'm saying? You get infected by it. Like the speech from the Matrix. It's an infection. It's a virus. You get, he says, it's the smell. It's the smell. I get somehow infected, corrupted by it. It's disgusting. So, you know, that's what it is. Nazism, fascism, it's a fucking infection. It's a damn mental illness, bro. It's a damn cultural fucking disease, bro. It's what it is. And like I say, I don't speak Russian or Ukrainian, but this video kind of, you know, it screams fascism. But you can see, like, even in this bit clip right here that's playing, like, some people feel very uncomfortable. And like that guy, this guy here, and it's like the guy standing on and this lady, I think she's complaining too. Like, you know, look at this guy. He looks uncomfortable as fuck. Look at this guy right here. Like, damn, can I please just get off of this train? These crazy ass, Nazi ass, some of my bitches. Fuck. So, yeah, it's not the whole Ukrainian people. It's a fucking infection. And it needs to be dealt with. No people should have to deal with that shit. You know, I thought that's what World War II was about, y'all. I thought that's what y'all was about. Ending fascism. Why do the media got y'all supporting that shit now? Crazy. How y'all let them do that to y'all? So am I missing comments? Let me see. He says Putin has a plan. He's a master strategist, a 40-year KGB agent, and a grandmaster chess player. None of this is an accident or a mistaken on his part. And I would completely 100% agree with you there, Doc. And that's why they keep saying, like, Russia is bogged down or this or that. I guarantee you all of that shit was in his fucking part of the plan. Wait, what did this post say? Egg lied on Tory like that lady that lied on Emmett Till. What are they talking about with that? I don't really give a fuck, but apparently Megan Thee Stallion has been canceled. Whatever, y'all. On to better news. This stupid bitch. No way. What a dumbass.
Putin needs to die. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth and the boo. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay.
They was like, okay, that's enough.
You know I grind inside. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth and the boo. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay. 99.
Are you fucking serious? We gotta play that again.
Price is way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas price is way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth and the boo.
I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of snapping.
I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay.
They was like, okay, all right, that's enough.
And you know
I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of snapping, bro.
Gas price is way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas price is way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth and the boo. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay.
He had to use the M word, bro. Oh my God, that is priceless right there, bro. That's worth the price of admission. If you guys stayed in the show long enough to see that clip right there, bro. That was definitely worth that was worth it right there. That was worth waiting an hour and a half to see that clip. OMG, bro. What kind of world do we live in? I had some other shit I wanted to cover. The show has already ran long though. I think we're inching up on 4 hours, I think. Let's hear Nancy Pelosi.
Ivano has been a very Irish part of our lives.
What?
Ivano has been a very Irish part of our lives.
What? She's a very smart person, so she's not dumb. So what the fuck does that mean? Let's read the comments. The first comment says, what does this mean though? Like, yeah, what do you mean? The next comment says, we need term limits. I'd agree with that. It says, disregards every single Irish American who came over here and helped build a country that didn't want them in the first place, were forcibly put into wars just like black people, and all their contributions to Pelosi's beloved government. All of that is bullshit compared to what Bono has done. Yes, Bono is the American Irish dream. Crazy. When are we protesting to get her to leave office? I'm reading comments still, y'all. Nothing. She's old. This is elderly abuse. Why can't these people retire? When are we protesting to get her to leave office? Nothing. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Pills. Oh, that's fucking funny. Sometimes she do look high. I ain't gonna lie. Bro. Y'all know I watch politics heavy as hell. That bitch be looking like she buzzing. I ain't gonna lie. If she probably got some, whatever, she got the good shit in her purse. Fucking name brand ass purse. She dressed nice as fuck too. Look at that suit she got on right now. That shit is probably, I don't know, some name brand, I don't know. Some Italian fucking high-end shit, like more expensive than Burberry and shit. Like, I don't know those brands. Nico or something, like, what is it called? Bono, Pia or some shit. Like, I don't know those brands. Anyways, pills, that's funny. She looked like she be buzzing a lot of times. Another comment says, cringe. How is the person who's the Speaker of the House so bad at actually speaking? Unreal, we live in a damn bad sitcom. Yeah, it's like the one with it's like a reality TV show, but they're not telling all of us. It's like Candid Camera. It's like the Truman Show. Like we're all of us are that guy. All of us is what's his name? The star of that movie. We're all like him, and we just don't even know that it's like the fucking thing is orchestrated in the stage and shit. It says, it's the bucket list item I never knew I wanted. Pelosi Bono collab. It's breathtaking. Yes, queen. And that's why there should be term limits for all branches of government. It says, she doesn't seem right. What's the hell going on with this human? She clearly has a crush on him. Yeah. Does it make sense?
Your jacket looks black.
Oh, wow. What color is my hair?
I cannot tell you exactly, but I would guess brown.
Yes.
Thank you.
Am I wearing a watch?
Yes. My cameras detect a watch.
What color is my jacket?
Your jacket looks black.
Oh, wow. What color is my...
Sorry. You can smash out ears. I can't control the volume of these things.
Of Instagram over in Russia. Now, this is why I always say, I need you to get people off social media because this could happen at any moment.
It's time to get your own. You can literally build an Uber Eats app for your business, or you can charge other restaurants and help.
Hey, Rory. Some lady on the internet says you're cold. You should probably come inside. You're not made for this cold weather.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
You gonna come in?
I'm chilling, bro.
Okay, you just stay there.
Yeah, I'm good. Those are the dogs I like.
Some lady on the internet says you're cold. You should probably come in.
But I really love Huskies. And it's probably because they are some of the breeds that are closest to the wolves, right? Aren't they really closer than the, we bred out all the good stuff. The wolves are really smart, like really intelligent, those big dogs, those big You know, like the ones that they used to pull the sleds and shit. Like, I really love those dogs. Those are the coolest dogs. They're like another person. I ain't gonna lie. They're so smart. So smart. Alaskan Husky named Cody. That's how I know. I know how smart these dogs are because I've been around them. And, like, it'll blow your mind how smart these dogs are, really. Like, if you didn't know. Like, they know shit. If they could talk, bro, they probably have a damn philosophical-ass conversation with your ass. The philosophy probably be better than Plato. Nietzsche. It's like, you take me to your neighbor's yard to poop, and then you pick up my poop and you put it in your pocket. So as the apple falls from the tree at the same speed as the... Oh, boom, we was just talking about this. Are they gonna explain it? Know thyself. You could take that from that symbol. What is this one? The one about Biden, him saying, yeah, I think he is a... Let's see.
Oh, I think he is a war criminal.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think he is a war criminal. Well, hey, some people think you're a war criminal. Some people think of Barack Obama's George W. Bush. Some people think Bush Sr. is a war criminal. Some people think Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice are war criminals. Some people think Hillary Clinton is a war criminal.
DemocracyNow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Russia's widened its assault on Ukraine more than 3 weeks after President Vladimir Putin ordered its troops to invade. On Friday morning, Russian missiles struck an aircraft repair plant near the civilian airport in Lviv. The attack in western Ukraine came just 50 miles from the border with Poland, a NATO member. Russian artillery fell on a secondary school and a city cultural center in a town near Ukraine's second largest city of Kharkiv. That attack killed 23 people. Russian shells also triggered a massive fire in Kharkiv that destroyed one of the largest markets in Eastern Europe, killing at least 3 people. More strikes have hit the capital, Kyiv. In the southern Ukraine, Russian ships are shelling the Black Sea port city of Odessa in Mariupol. Officials say 30,000 residents have managed to escape, but more than 350,000 remain besieged without adequate. Far during Russia's assault. Among the dead, 115, and wounded, 115 children.
Much higher. Most of these casualties were caused by the use in populated areas of explosive weapons with a wide impact area. Hundreds of residential buildings have been damaged or destroyed, as have hospitals and schools.
Meanwhile, U.S. intelligence officials say more than 7,000 Russian troops have been killed during the first 3 weeks of fighting, including young conscripts forced into Russian military service. The House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly Thursday to sever normal trade relations with Russia over its assault on Ukraine and to further sanction Belarus over its support of Russia's military. The bill now heads to the Senate, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has promised a speedy debate. Meanwhile, President Biden speaking by phone with Chinese leader Xi Jinping today. Ahead of the talk, Secretary of State Tony Blinken said China will face consequences if it moves to resupply Russia's military or takes other steps to support the Ukraine invasion.
Make clear that China will bear responsibility for any actions it takes to support Russia's aggression, and we will not hesitate to impose costs.
The World Health Organization is warning the coronavirus pandemic is far from over, with the number of global daily cases again on the rise. Many European countries are experiencing a new surge in cases tied to BA.2, a fast-spreading subvariant of the Omicron variant. China's expanded lockdowns in major cities as it struggles to maintain its zero-COVID strategy amidst its worst outbreak since early 2020. Meanwhile, South Korea reported more than 620,000 new cases and 429 deaths Thursday alone. Until this year, South Korea had one of the world's most successful responses to COVID-19. Here in the United States, the head of President Biden's coronavirus task force is stepping down. The White House says Jeff Zients will be replaced by Ashish Jha, the dean of the Brown University School of Public Health. Zients drew praise early in Biden's presidency for his science-based approach to the pandemic, but drew fire for failing to make rapid antigen tests and N95 masks widely available and affordable to the public. He also killed a proposal that would have provided paid quarantine and isolation for most U.S. workers. In a statement, Public Citizen said, quote, "The Zients-led COVID response refused to challenge Big Pharma's monopoly control in the U.S. and globally over technologies that relied crucially on public support. As a result, the United States and other rich countries failed to expand vaccine supply sufficient to meet global need." An Australian appeals court has overturned a historic 2021 ruling that found the government had a duty of care to protect children from the effects of the climate catastrophe. The case was brought by Australian teenagers in a bid to prevent the expansion of a coal mine. The young plaintiffs could still appeal the ruling. This comes as 7 youth climate activists in Utah launched a new suit against their state and Utah officials this week. They argue fossil fuel development violates their constitutional rights and poses an existential threat to Utah's children. A U.S. federal appeals court ruled the Biden administration can factor in the cost of the climate crisis in policy decisions. The decision stays a ruling from a lower court, which banned the administration from considering what is referred to as the social cost of carbon. It could affect upcoming decisions on oil and gas drilling leases and regulatory practices. Sprawling Saharan sandstorms cast an orange glow across European skies this week. The effect was most dramatic in Spain, where authorities urged residents to stay indoors to avoid breathing in the coarse particulate matter. Scientists warn the climate crisis will intensify such events in the coming years. In Western Sahara, a delegation of U.S.-based volunteers has arrived at the home of the prominent Sahrawi human rights defender Sultana Khaya, her sister Luara, and their family. It's a rare visit by international human rights observers to the territory, which has suffered under Moroccan occupation since 1975. The U.S. delegation includes Adrian Kinney, a former U.S. Army intelligence officer and president of Veterans for Peace. Their visit breaks a 482-day siege of the home, where family members have been forcibly confined by Moroccan security forces since November of 2020. The Khaya sisters say they were raped last year by Moroccan agents in front of their 84-year-old mother. The agents also stole mobile phones, destroyed belongings, and threw trash, urine, and noxious black liquid into the family's drinking water storage tank. To see our interview with Sultana Khaya, go to our website, democracynow.org, and link to our documentary, 4 Days in Western Sahara, Africa's Last Colony. In East Timor, voters are heading to the polls Saturday. Among a field of 16 presidential candidates are incumbent Francisco Luolo Guterres of the Revolutionary Front for an Independent East Timor and former President José Ramos Horta, a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Ramos Horta has been leading in the polls. The winner will take office May 2022, the 20th anniversary of East Timor's independence from Indonesia. Peru's top court has authorized the release of 83-year-old former President Alberto Fujimori from prison. Fujimori has served less than 15 years of a 25-year sentence for human rights abuses and crimes committed during his rule in the 1990s, including kidnapping, bribery, and ordering massacres by death squads. The government of President Pedro Castillo said it would appeal the ruling before the Inter-American Court of Human Rights. Protesters took to the streets following the news. This is Gisela Ortiz, former Peruvian culture minister whose brother was murdered during Fujimori's dictatorship.
We spontaneously came out to react to this unjust and illegal decision from the Constitutional Tribunal, which gives Fujimori freedom. He is a former president who violated human rights. We are demanding that our right to justice as massacre victims' relatives is guaranteed.
A judge in Honduras has granted the extradition of former President Juan Orlando Hernandez to the United States on drug trafficking and firearms charges. Hernandez is a longtime U.S. ally who ended his presidential term less than 2 months ago. He's also accused of accepting millions of dollars in bribes to shield drug traffickers from the law. In a court filing, witnesses say the ex-president said he wanted to shove cocaine, quote, right up the noses of the gringos. A warning to our audience. The following story contains graphic footage of police violence. In Los Angeles, newly released video shows the death of Edward Bronstein at the hands of California Highway Patrol officers. The 38-year-old father of 5 was arrested in March of 2020 on suspicion of driving under the influence and brought to a CHIP station in the Los Angeles suburb of Altadena. A 17-minute video recorded by a police sergeant opens with officers demanding Bronstein give a blood sample to measure his blood alcohol level.
You're bringing the fight to this, not us.
I'm not fighting it at all.
Then have a seat and provide your arm. This is your last opportunity. Otherwise, you're going face down on the mat, and we're going to keep on going.
After Bronstein hesitates, 5 officers tackle and pin him to the ground, pressing their combined body weight into Bronstein's back and neck.
I'll do it willingly, I told you. Please don't. Okay, I'll do it willingly. I'll do it willingly. I'll do it willingly, I promise.
The video shows officers ignoring Bronstein's pleas to willingly give a blood sample. He screams repeatedly and gasps, "I can't breathe," 12 times.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Just stop yelling.
I need to breathe.
Bronstein's screams grow quieter until he falls silent. Still, 2 minutes pass as officers continue to draw blood. One officer checks for a pulse, calls Bronstein's name, slaps him in the side of the head as he appears to be unconscious. Officers call for a paramedic, but continue to draw blood from Bronstein's limp body. More than 11 minutes after Bronstein's last screams, officers finally begin administering CPR. Bronstein's family is suing the California Highway Patrol for wrongful death, assault and battery, civil rights violations, and failure to render aid. A federal judge ruled Bronstein's family had a right to view the video and make it public after California state attorneys fought to prevent its release. Bronstein's family is also demanding criminal charges for the officers involved. And in Washington, D.C.,
Protecting and serving right there.
University have announced they could go on strike next week over unresolved issues with their working conditions, including below living wages for non-tenured educators. This is Cyrus Hampton, a contingent faculty member who teaches full-time in Howard's English department.
We are calling on our tenured and tenure-track colleagues to stand with us and honor our picket lines during the strike. We're calling on our students, alums, and all of the HU community to support us in our effort to overcome the unfair labor practices of university leadership and to better the university as a whole.
Howard is one of the top historically black colleges and universities in the United States. Last fall, students won improvements to university housing and other concessions after they held a weeks-long sit-in protest occupying a student center on campus. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!
Depressing. I don't know how she does it every day. That story with the cops. Damn, bro. Protecting and serving, bro. Like, okay, he was drunk or whatever. They're trying to get his blood to prove that he was drunk. And they accidentally kill the guy. Like, when are we going to face the reality that, like, a lot of the stuff that they do is all the way fucking ridiculous, bro? Like, all the way unnecessarily heavy-handed. You know what I'm saying? That's why people be dying. Like, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they don't have no disregard for human life. They don't have no fucking compassion for human life. If you're a criminal, then fuck it. He's a criminal. You know? If he dies, he dies. Shouldn't have been being a criminal. Shouldn't have been drunk. He shouldn't have resisted arrest. He should have just complied.
May have kept major capital afloat, it did not come with relief for the poor, recovery for the economy as a whole, and worst of all, no reform to prevent this from happening again. So Americans saw the bailouts as just another benefit for the economic elite.
Yep, and that's
Despite
what it was.
the standard neoliberal dogma that more profitable corporations will result in more jobs, the opposite happened. Unemployment peaked at 10% in October of 2009, and it only slowly recovered from there for the next decade before COVID-19 reversed much of those gains. Understandably, people were disillusioned. Just as with the 1970s, the Great Recession seemed to be a turning point, but not in the same way. Opposition arose to parts of neoliberalism, but not the whole. Americans did not turn against the entire system. In fact, that is what made this the most important differentiation point in American politics. To everyone in the US, the problem is clearly an establishment pushing policies that have deepened our economic woes. The problem is, who is that establishment? This is the fundamental root of the rise of populism. You see, the parties aren't all that different, save for one particular aspect.
That's what I be saying.
Who is the elite
all
that
the
is
time.
causing this problem? For Republicans, they blamed bureaucrats making inept policies that pushed jobs overseas and allowed for immigrants to outcompete natives. But most importantly, they blamed the government itself. The first battleground of these Republican populists was over Obamacare. It was essentially a new tax requiring everyone to buy into the healthcare system. Some thought it was socialism. A lot of people honestly believe that Obamacare is socialism even though it's just a tax. It's nowhere close to even the national healthcare systems proposed by so many politicians since Theodore Roosevelt. Nonetheless, the fact that this was essentially a new tax brought about many people to fight it, regardless of whether they were affected by it. They took on the tradition of patriots fighting against British taxes in 1773, who threw tea into the Boston Harbor. This new Tea Party campaigned against Obamacare. They spoke of the government deficit and balancing the budget as key ways to correct the economy. The elite they opposed were technocrats who expanded the government. Technocrats are experts appointed or hired into the government specifically to run it with their expertise. Right-wing populists say these technocrats are the establishment that allows for illegal immigration and a nanny state that is somehow causing our economic woes. They are political insiders immune from the will of the people. Right-wing populists are particularly concerned with tax hikes because they see the use of government welfare as a kind of handout for the supposedly undeserving, even though it's Reaganomics cutting such programs in the first place that has led to such high poverty rates. They justify further tax cuts with austerity measures and false claims that the economy will somehow grow enough to replace that lost government revenue. So you can draw a direct line from the Tea Party to the Trump administration. For the Democrats, the answer was the economic elite themselves. Rather than the system of neoliberalism, left-wing populists speak more of the robber barons and raising taxes on them. This came in full force 2 years after the Tea Party arose. People in New York took over a park just down Wall Street from the stock exchange, ostensibly to protest the upper class. They occupied the park for 2 months before their dispersal. But while they were there, it sparked off sympathetic protests across the US of people occupying public spaces. Their main slogan was, "We are the 99%. You see, they were protesting the top 1% of the economy. The problem is, they had no real goal. Ostensibly, they wanted some kind of poor relief by taxing that 1%. But they did not propose concrete policy. This is where political outsiders like Bernie Sanders began to make inroads into the Democratic Party once again. They fought the establishment of rich influence in politics, though as the Occupy movement itself indicates, with far less success. Biden may have some left-wing populist influence, but it is extremely moderate compared to the populism of Trump. The left-right divide is at the core of populism today. Whether fighting technocrats or rich influence, this populist difference is at the core of our political divide. It is often framed as a fight over big government, but neither side is concerned with the actual size of government. Rather, what is its role? Should experts run their respective departments? Should rich people be able to use their disproportionate buying power to influence policy? Each side is fighting an establishment. Neither of these effectively combats the system underneath. Right-wing populists perpetuate deregulation and privatization, while left-wing ones continue that free trade focus. Both maintain the atomization of individuality. Hence the reason why it's become so much more difficult to form a labor union. It's not just laws that prevent class solidarity, but the very psychology of neoliberalism.
You can't sit and negotiate with a union that's in violation of the law.
And their oath.
And their oath.
Though there's been a ton of union busting in this neoliberal age, the very idea that individuals cannot unify infects our politics. Left-wing populists may be more pro-union than right-wing ones, but they still both perpetuate the system. Collective bargaining power, as can be used by unions and whatnot, is antithetical to this atomized individuality. And once again, we have yet to adjust to how economic regulation can function under a service economy. This takes new adaptations for which we have none. And remember, none of this has anything to do with the size of government. Right-wing populists are happy to expand military and police expenditures, quite contrary to their small government aspirations.
I'll be saying that all the time.
Populists wish to downsize that solely to replace it with social programs. This is our most fundamental divide, and it misses the point. Neoliberalism itself is to blame. It came about as deindustrialization caused a chaotic switch over the crisis of confidence to a service economy. Due to the failure of Keynesianism and the New Deal, neoliberalism took over. Ronald Reagan explained his neoliberal intent quite clearly with his inaugural speech, saying,
The economic ills we suffer have come upon us over several decades. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
The reduction of government is not the actual goal. Privatization, globalization, and deregulation are. Neoliberalism forms of the New Deal coalition, bringing us closer to laissez-faire capitalism and atomizing individuality. It is the consumption of public interests by private ones, which privileges the wealthy. The ramifications of this policy brought about immense wealth inequality, which developed into the Great Recession. Populists only partially answered the problem of neoliberalism, fighting some kind of establishment, which is the deep issue at the heart of American politics. But there is something further. While the party switch set this current political system in motion, culture wars gave a facade of drastic rhetoric, and populism, spurred on by neoliberalism, underlies the divide. There is something amplifying all of this. The very medium this episode is on is partially to blame. Technology itself, from radio talk shows, cable news, and internet filter bubbles, has exaggerated our gradual political polarization. But that will have to wait until the next episode, at least whenever I can finish it.
Yeah, so basically it comes down to people having a better understanding of neoliberalism, because I don't think that they understand neoliberalism. And then they hear the word liberalism and then they automatically think that it's coming from the left. And as he was explaining in his video, that's not the case. You know, neoliberal, they both are the Republicans and the Democrats are both neoliberals. The left and the right are both neoliberals in this country. And it's, you know, and then the way that they go at the problem is still not addressing, you know, the real roots of the problem. Because the main problem with United States citizens is that they can't face themselves. They can't face the truth. They don't want to, you know, reevaluate themselves. They don't want to see themselves as wrong. They want to see themselves as the morally right ones. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are right. I'm morally right. Even on both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, the liberals and the conservatives, they both want to be like, I'm right, you know? So that's the problem. What happened to my screen, y'all? Can y'all still see me? This shit is fucking tripping. Oh, that's irritating. I don't even know if y'all can see me. My screen is black. Can y'all see me? Hold on, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna do this right quick. I'm about to wrap it anyways, but let me do this. I hope you guys learned something today. Oh shit, let's go back to this. Oh shit, I'm here. Okay. I don't know. Man, I've been tripping today. I didn't even use my camera at the beginning of the show. I came home from work and I just jumped on the show and I didn't really I tried to prep and get ready as much as I could, but I jumped on here way too fast. I should have gave it a few more minutes to make sure I had everything in order. But, hey, life goes on. This is way more difficult than it looks, like I said. So, but anyways, the neoliberalism, hopefully people understand that better. And hopefully they understand that, that this left-right divide that they got us on is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? And all those congressmen, Lindsey Graham, AOC or whatever, they probably go have tea together. So, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, they probably, play golf together or some shit. You guys are getting manipulated, and that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? And they got us fighting against each other and arguing with each other. Meanwhile, they don't even disagree with each other. They all on the same page. It's all just to fucking have us fighting against each other about something. Critical race theory. Let's fight about that. Let's fight about Ukraine. Let's fight about that. Let's fight about Russia. Let's argue about Black Lives Matter. Let's argue about defund the police. Let's argue about abortion rights. And what I be saying all the time is that I think that 85% of the public all really agree on we agree on 85% of everything. And then you got that 10-15% of stuff that we disagree on, and that's the stuff that the media just feeds and feeds and feeds and feeds us. It's like stoking a flame, stoking a fire, pouring gas on it.
Where is it? Weeks ago, we all still had to be COVID tested. There were lines for people to do the drive-through COVID testing. God, that thing was mutating and it was coming through. Where did you ever? Where did COVID go? Where is it? Weeks ago, we all still had to be COVID tested. There were lines for people to do the drive-through COVID testing. God, that thing was mutating and it was coming through.
Oh, that's a good point, guys. It went from corona to Ukraine like overnight, bro. So can y'all please try to see that the media is pulling your heartstrings?
By a bunch of tyrants. For a paycheck over your freedom? Really?
I got you.
What about our kids?
Listen,
what about your kids and your kids and your grandkids?
I don't believe you. I believe you.
I remember when, I remember.
I'm so amazed. I don't even know what to look at.
Oh, Mama, there's soft pretzels over there.
That's all you think about is food, and you just told me where's L'Oreal and Keon.
There's soft
So the next
pretzels.
thing we need to be. I keep on pulling out my phone to look for a cell phone store, but it's so much stuff.
Can we get to the pretzels, Ma? Ma, all that's cool, but yeah, they got pretzels over there. Kids know how to enjoy life. Y'all taking pictures and shit. Go eat some of the pretzels.
Tim, what's up, big man?
Damn, gas prices, bro. I'm about to wrap it, y'all. I'm tired. It's 5 a.m. Hope y'all learned some stuff. I hope some people play this fucking video back because there's some good stuff in this video.
Andy Shirley.
Amazing.
Jack this up.
Amazing. Auntie.
Some really good information in there and perspectives. And that's the point, you know, kind of stretch your mind a bit.
All the companies out there, right, that be calling me and
just stretch your mind a bit, you know, get you thinking about things in a different way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
Whoa. Oh my God. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Sign them up.
I don't think he's gonna play that long. Robert Wright. Visa and MasterCard are raising their fee. They take their merchants from accepted credit cards. Birth firms. They're doing this because they can, apparently coordinating their moves. Well, why doesn't the volatile antitrust law? I mean, things are all the way out of control, and you guys are just like, meh. Let's play PlayStation. That's what I'm finna go do. That's what I'm finna do anyways right now. I'm finna wind down, play PlayStation. You know, they teach us to not give a fuck. You know, that's their superpower. That's how they keep on fucking over everybody. Because you just you're just supposed to be an individual.
2 weeks now, and every time he sees me, he keeps dodging me. Yeah. He's becoming a real pain in the ass. I mean, should I crack him on or what?
What's the matter with you? What about the telling you? Sometimes hurting somebody ain't the answer.
Yeah.
Hypothetical question. If you could press a button and become $1 million richer, but at the cost of a human life, would you press the button?
Yeah.
Caveats and explanations at the end.
I don't need them.
In this hypothetical scenario, I will give you a large red button.
Okay.
If you choose to press this button, $1 million American dollars will...
There goes another example of what I was saying. We're trained to not care. We're trained to not care about other people's feelings, other people's life. We're trained to be an individual, you know, and look out for ourselves and our family, and that's it. And that's their superpower. Because that's how they fuck over every last one of us. Because they got us all trying to push at the machine on our own, carve out our little existence on our own. And, you know, I mean, you can only do so much with that strategy. You know what I'm saying? If we were to come together, build our own institutions, build our own infrastructures with our own funding, fuck them. We don't need nothing from them. They can keep taxing us too. Fuck it. We'll pay the taxes and we'll still build our own shit. And what?
Has a few tattoos, few cute ones, you know, that he got. But this one is a tattoo that says Kim. Yeah, he has.
So here I am, right on the lava flow. And we are at the foot of the Mount Nyiragongo volcano. And this is the camp essentially that got built for people. There's 2,000 people living in a camp just over there behind me, and they're just living in tents. They've been living there since May. So that's what the people them are dealing with. It's mad. Can you imagine? One day you're living in your house, and then the next day it just gets burned down by a lava flow. You have to go live in a tent. So this is what we are dealing with right now. So basically, we are in Virunga National Park.
This is the DR Congo.
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
But I don't hear nobody
And
crying for them.
Where
cry for Ukraine.
Lava flow.
DRC.
The volcano erupted in May, and as you can see, it's taken down all the trees and wiped out people's houses. And yeah, nature is serious, and you're about to see the actual flow. What people have tried to do here. This used to be a road; it got completely wiped out. What people used to do here is they used to use this road to go to and from the farmland, but now, as you can see, like Jurassic Park.
Started raining hard as hell on their ass. $25,000 people displaced, it says for the year.
These are the tents that people have been living in since May. And as you can see, it's throwing it down with rain. And right now, their tents will flood every time it rains like this. And it rains like this like every day. You can see down there, they're just tents. So this gives them life right now. All right.
You're like, that's enough, bro. The rain pouring down shit. Let me get some shelter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, Chaka bars.
So up here behind me, you can see this is the whole lava flow. There is normal land. There is lava. So start there. See it? So all of this, all the trees, everything was taken away. And the mad thing is that whenever there's like a natural disaster in African countries or indigenous people land, it's always like we look to Mzungu, we always look to Europeans, foreigners for assistance. But there's a lot of us in the diaspora who have money and care. And so I feel like when these type of things happen, we should come together to support our people, you know? Rather than trying to wait for other groups to help us out. That doesn't make any sense. We are...
That's what I was talking about earlier, the diaspora. We need to start thinking that way.
So just for scale, you can see how big the lava flow is. That's at the back there, that's like 20 feet high, 25 feet high. And this all came through here and there were people's houses here. So now you can see the size of it. Mimi hapana elewa. Usituangalia sana. Kwa nini?
I don't know how many languages this guy speaks. I've been following him for a while. He's like an activist. He really focuses on like orphans and stuff. And be building schools and houses and shit for people. So he raises money using his like celebrity. And raises money for these people. Just like the other one, the other channel I like a lot is what is it called? Invisible People. Y'all check that out. So this one is Chaka Bars, and he supports like mostly what he does is he helps orphans and shit, and like in animals. He really loves elephants. He helps. He saves elephants from zoos and circuses and shit like that. So he saves animals and he saves like children. That's basically what he does. The other channel, Invisible People, he focuses on homeless people and he raises money for them. And he does it like family by family basis. And he be helping people all over, everywhere. But mostly he be in like Venezuela and shit like that.
Can she just introduce herself?
I'm not talking about this guy. I'm talking about Invisible People. This is Chaka Bars. He's always somewhere in Africa.
And
almost always. But I don't even think he's from. He was in the military. Was he from South Africa?
Now we're just
I
waiting
think
for the
he's
head of civil
European.
protection
I don't
to
even
come
think
and
he's from Africa
give
at
us
all.
the final price, and then we'll buy all of this land for the people, and we'll start building the houses. So yeah, man, life is good.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's helping whole communities. This says the children of the parents who they hired to build the houses. So they building houses for orphans, like I said. So, but this is helping the whole community. It's bringing in money for the whole community. It's a good thing that guy's doing.
We're about to lay the first stone for the foundations. It's all ceremonial. Jeez.
Yeah, these are one of the, like, if y'all want to look for, like, because people be wanting to help and you can't trust these damn donations, these places like the Red Cross and them. Like, I mean, don't give your money to these people, please. Find some ones like these that you know and they show you what they're doing with the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not transparent. Red Cross and what is all of the other ones, they're not transparent at all. Like, what the fuck are they doing with that money, you know? They're not transparent. They send you some, and then the ones that be like the dimes, they send you some random ass stock picture for some kid talking about you're saving this kid or whatever. You're, you know, providing for this kid or whatever. It's a stock photo, not even a real person. Bullshit. But you do have activists out there who's helping people for real. And usually it's like these kind of like individuals. They're not even really foundations. They're just kind of like individuals that are actually helping people. And you can find people who are doing that and donate your money to them and actually help some people, you know. So I would look up Invisible People if you're concerned with homeless people and you want to help with that. And if you want to help like African orphans, then you look up Chaka Bars. But there's plenty of other types of, but I follow them, these two. See, look at that house. He brought them beds and shit. The niggas is all about working out. He's a vegan and he don't eat meat. And working out a lot. These are probably pictures of the orphans. They built a library for them. Because these kids really don't have no parents at all. Like the parents, whatever happened. You know, over here we got at least a little bit of a kind of, even though our shit is like a damn human trafficking, sex trafficking ass fucking program. But some people can make it through it and get, benefits out of it. But in some of these countries over there, they don't have any kind of like, there's nothing. The damn kid, if there's no parents to take care of the kid, most likely the kid's not going to make it. Or he'll turn into one of those, like the guerrillas. That's how they end up with their armies, because those guys who are like a warlord type, you know, they go and get these kids and they give them guns and then they go take over whole towns. because these kids don't have no remorse. They're young. You know what I mean? They're just trying to survive. So then the warlord guy tells them to, you know, shit, yo, we finna murder this whole town. And we finna take all the stuff that they have. And then we're gonna party afterwards. And then we're gonna go chill somewhere. And then we're gonna go do that shit again. And they're like, that sounds better than death to me. It's so fucked up. So fucked up. Anyways, y'all, I'm about to wrap it. I've been needing to take a damn break, potty break for the longest. Telling y'all, bro, it's not easy to do this. This is not easy. Thank y'all for supporting the show. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for commenting. You know, thank y'all for joining. I hope we learned something. Share some of this information with other people. You know, it's all about the conversation. We need to have these conversations. So just stop talking about fucking Rihanna, Drake, and Megan Thee Stallion, and let's talk about some shit that matters, so that, you know, we can change the world for the better. You know, if we keep on acting like there ain't no problem, we're not gonna ever fix it. It's just gonna keep festering like a cancer. We gotta recognize that there's a problem, and then we have to start making steps towards fixing it. But we can't even do that if we can't even have the conversation, an honest, truthful conversation on the topics. So that's why we're here. That's why I do this.
And he's going to make a gaffe. And what is the gaffe? He's going to tell the truth. And this guy doesn't know what to do, because he's going to tell them the truth about Ukraine right now. And watch this.
The first 5 days, Russian forces, I think, frankly, were too gentle. They've now corrected that. So I would say another 10 days, this should be completely over. But the question is, what is it that Zelensky is going to do? The Russians have made it very clear what they want is a neutral Ukraine. This could have ended days ago if he accepted that. And then they can adjust.
So there's a colonel from the United States military saying this could have been over a long time ago if Zelensky would have just agreed to keep his country neutral. Won't do it. Here we go.
Borders, but the eastern part of Ukraine is firmly in Russian hands. But again, the Russians are not seizing territory. They're destroying Ukrainian forces. That's their focus.
Colonel, it sounds like you don't approve of Zelensky's stand.
Oh, I think Zelensky is a puppet, and he is putting huge numbers of his own population at unnecessary risk. And quite frankly, most of what comes out of Ukraine is debunked as lies within 24 to 48 hours. The notions of taking and retaking airfields, all of this is nonsense. It hasn't happened.
He's not a hero when he's standing up himself and his own people. You don't think he's a hero?
No, I do not. I don't see anything heroic about the man. And I think the most heroic thing that he can do right now is to come to terms with reality. Neutralize Ukraine. This is not a bad thing. A neutral Ukraine would be good for us as well as for Russia. It would create the buffer that, frankly, both sides want. But he's, I think, being told to hang on and try to drag this out, which is tragic for the people that have to live through this.
I'm inclined to disagree with you, Colonel, but
what can I do? I can't say I agree with you. I'm getting paid by the people who are profiting off this war. So thank you very much. Appreciate it, Colonel. So there's a colonel telling you that.
Yeah, I missed a bit of that, but I think I know what he was talking about with that. Jimmy Dore, he's just a comedian. I don't always agree with him, but his journalism beats MSNBC, CNN, CBS, you name it, Fox, on most topics. You know, the media sucks so bad, the news sucks so bad. You got regular folks like me Jimmy Dore in his garage, like he says, fucking doing better journalism than these people who are getting paid all this fucking money by the New York Times, Huffington Post.
Bandera de España y me dijo que era de Mondoñedo y de Lalín. Eso es imposible. Ser de Mondoñedo es de Lugo y ser de Lalín es de Pontevedra. Pero si él lo dice, ¿por qué vamos a discutir? No tiene mayor trascendencia. ¿Para qué?
So who's gonna do it? By who? For who? It says Democrats worry Zelensky offered GOP key talking point. Man, he was so young in that picture. Now that Joe Biden's president, the Times finally admits Hunter's laptop is real. Who posted this? The New York Post. These niggas, I swear, they don't have no news to report. Okay, this is juicy meat right here for the, and sensationalism is what I keep talking about, the stuff that triggers you. Like, wherever you fit on this, like you love Hunter or you hate Hunter, this story is just for y'all's entertainment. Like, it's red meat for the it's red meat for y'all to consume. Oh shit, they got sound and shit in there. I'm not gonna play that. Let me see. It says, now that Joe Biden's president, the Times finally admits Hunter's laptop is real. In October 2020, the Post exclusively reported on contents of the ditched laptop hard drive. Forgive the profanity, but got to be shitting us. First, the New York Times decides more than a year later that Hunter Biden's business woes are worthy of a story, then deepen the piece in passing it notes that Hunter's laptop is legitimate. People familiar with the investigation said prosecutors had examined emails between Mr. Biden, Mr. Archer, and others about Burisma and other foreign business activity, the Times wrote. Those emails were obtained by the New York Times from a cache of files that appears to have come from a laptop abandoned by Mr. Biden in a Delaware repair shop. The email and others in the cache were authenticated by people familiar with them and with the investigation. Authenticated. ... I'm not going to read any more of that. You guys know. Like, really, like I say, that was the Post. Gosh, y'all don't have nothing else to write about. This is what gives me a show. This is what gives Jimmy Dore a show. This is what gives Tim Black a show. This is why Sager and Crystal are so big. They're getting clicks like crazy. The Hill is getting clicks like crazy. They do a better job of news than the New York Times, the New York Post, and it's because they're bought out, right? These corporations have bought these damn publications. They no longer serve the function that they were originally, intended for. Then they now serve the purpose of the mouthpiece of the corporations, the mouthpiece of, let's say, the government or whatever agenda, who the powers that be, they no longer are critical. Remember when, like, there's no more investigative reporting. Remember when we used to have investigative reporting? Now we just have talking heads. And there's never nobody. They show somebody on the ground outside of a building or something, but they don't ever show, like, go to a situation and show, like, what's happening. Like, no more, bro. Like, we don't have real journalism no more in the major media. It's all like, and even the local media, when they be doing local stories, that shit could be done from a whole nother state and shit. Like, and the editor is not even from the state. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, even local news, you can't even get good media out of your local news station because it's owned by this big huge corporation and they all about making money. So it costs money to like have people to go out and do real stories and write stories and do investigations, because sometimes the stuff might not turn out to be worthy of a story or whatever. They can't make money, or they don't want to waste money, so they streamline the process. So it's streamlined like a you know, what do they call it? The line. Everything comes down the line, and it's like the box machine. You know, the kick out another story, kick out another story, kick out another story. You know, the way that they can make the most money off of, and it costs the least. They're making trash. That's why ain't nobody reading their publications no more. It's so crazy how you gotta have a damn prescription to read all their trash. Like, and hope I don't get in trouble for playing that last video. I probably shouldn't have played that shit. I'm always testing the damn waters, bro. That shit gonna get me.
You are now